So we're back talking about Chris Chan, possibly the most interesting person on the internet who recently also turned into the most disgusting person on the internet after he confessed in an audio call to having incestuous sex with his elderly mother, Barbara. Despite Chris being well known for being a weird and sometimes deplorable individual, this news in particular came to a shock to everyone, especially me, as those who have watched my previous video on the situation would know. But luckily since then Chris has been arrested and is currently in jail awaiting his trial. Now since this situation with Chris Chan's mother has come to light, as well as the fact that Chris was arrested shortly after, we haven't been able to hear Chris's opinion and defense on this situation. Until now. As on September 24th, one of Chris Chan's former friends, Joshua Moon, ended up posting a letter he received from Chris, written from their jail cell, and posted it onto his website, Kiwi Farms. And after reading this letter for myself, I've got to say, out of all the responses I've ever read from guilty YouTubers, this one by far has to be the most strange. And you will quickly see why as I read it, so without further ado, let's get right into it. This letter was written on September 19th, and it starts out with Chris saying, "I have finally received fresh paper and envelopes, and I feel it advised to inform you of the following, all of which, as you may or will, you have my consent to relay all of the contents of this letter to Joshua Null Moon, as well as forward the physical document to David Heelberg, my attorney. The following everyone should hear and appreciate sincerely, authentic, and spiritually and aura deep. I also swear direct truth with my left hand over my heart as I write this sentence. Firstly, and vitally, it should be made obvious and clear that aside from Andy Warhol, my life events at the present and so far can be directly compared and matched with that which has been chronicled of none other than Jesus Christ of Nazareth himself, in any Holy Bible. Also, feel free to take any unaltered original photograph of my body's face, neck and shoulder/chest area, where I was not wearing the glasses. Then alter the photo to show a naturally growing brown beard, mustache, and sideburns. Now, place that photo next to any image of Jesus off the cross. Compare. Look deep into my eyes in the photograph. See for yourself. I meditate and connect directly and genuinely with the cosmos, both of our universe halves, and throughout the timelines, the entire multiverse. So despite some lack of physical evidence, I know the ultimate truths, facts, and details not commonly known or written, drawn, or chronicled. That being stated, all of my life my mind, eyes, and literally held the constant perception of being the central camera number 000 out of all of the other cameras, infinite, from the first person perspective of all others. And this goes even deeper. I encourage you to deeply meditate and see for yourself. This and all of the truths. And the reason and truth behind my unique perception is direct and mind-blowingly simple. I am literally the real player one, the one avatar, and this body, eyes, mind, and all the one God body, and I am literally also Jesus Christ himself, fully reincarnated and fully reawakened. Even the dimension merge, literally completed and concluding. The same for the collective shift. All of this is literally huge chunks of the past, present, and in-progress events of my second coming. Period. Not all details of the past chronicled scriptured writings are accurate. And as a member of the Chronicle of Gods and Goddesses, with the strongest and direct of connections, I know details have changed some to a lot. In regards to the scriptures of the past, 3 days on Earth equal 4 months, with 24-hour days/nights, in the heaven realm. So, yes, this is the one immortal body, and that was none other than I, off and on that cross over 2,000 years ago in my past life, personally. Each and every prayer and praise to Jesus, as of February 1982, at least, have all been directed to this body and soul. Malachi 3, Judgment Day is nearing. Know this well. Praise. Moving on, with all of that stated, our last letter. Next. Why I have transferred that money on Saturday, July 31st. Josh had absolutely no right in relaying that detail publicly. Now, for those of you who don't know what Chris is referring to here, once the authorities found out about the situation between Chris and their mother in late July, Chris was immediately put under an emergency protection order in order to protect their mother, Barbara. But while the emergency protection order was in effect, Chris ended up stealing $750 from Barbara's bank account, which is obviously a violation of the emergency protection order. We found this out because Chris's former friend Joshua Null Moon still had access to Chris's Chris's email from when they were still friends and he was helping Chris out. And in Chris's email, he got the notification for the $750 that Chris took from Barbara's bank account. Joshua confronted Chris when he texted them saying, "Did you ask your mom to send you money? That is probably a violation of the emergency protection order." Chris responds, "I did not ask her to send me money. I have also refrained from contacting her at all and continue to do so." Joshua responds, "So she sent you money on her own?" Chris responds, "She did not send me any money. I had managed to find blessings in the minimum abundance I needed. Meanwhile, I presently have a little over 5 hours to kill, and both the favorite malls around here won't open until 11. Joshua then shares a screenshot of the notification and says, "Do you have control over her bank accounts?" To which Chris responds, "Yes, I have online control, and this was an emergency. I plan on sending the $750 back to her account after when the $1,000 gets into my account." So now, with that context out of the way, let's read Chris's explanation in the letter for stealing money from his mother. It starts with Chris saying, "Friday the 30th, forced out of my home in Temple, had nowhere else to go. Had less than $50 between pocket money and only a couple of bucks or so in my bank account. No money in my PayPal. Patreon was not due for a payout until Sunday, and SSI was not coming into my bank until Tuesday. Harriet and Tom Ashby cast me out before I even arrived to Midlothian. The van was not majorly uncomfortable." What Chris is referring to there is an offer from his extended family members to have a place to stay, but that offer was rejected once they found out what exactly they did and why they needed the shelter. Anyways, continuing with Chris's letter, they say, "Josh had wired me $1,000 to my bank that Friday, but it did not arrive until after or on Monday. Little food and options. And you try bumming in any parking lot without feeling insecure and paranoid. I needed safety and comfort as quickly as possible. That is why I transferred that money. I was going to pay it back in full. Even had $150 from Patreon on Sunday the 1st. That went straight to Barbie Chan's bank account. I would have paid the remaining $600 Monday or Tuesday, but Null had to fail his destined test and betrayed me, like I was betrayed and jailed with a kiss over 2,000 years ago. Now, and as of the past arrest, I have absolutely no way to fulfill that repentance, or anything else digital." Malachi chapter 3 verse 6 to 15. I repeat all that personally. Now, all of you had to overdrama and fail your worldwide test of faith upon me. And finally, the all-important popular present FAQ. Why and what the hell? Emmanuel, God above all other gods and goddesses, and one of my mentors, herself, had deemed to heal, cleanse, and clear Barbara of all her past sins and regrets, and improve her abilities directly and personally as her goddess. We mainly cuddled, soul bonded, and talked, consentfully and emotionally and mentally supportive and healing. I did as I had done for and with a chosen few back in Israel over 2,000 years ago in cleansing them. More details of the Bibles that have been overlooked and left out. We gods had eased up on the views of adultery. Why else do you think we all have pro-gay, pro-lesbian, pro-trans, and all today and the past decades? Everyone involved were all being genuinely, deeply happy and content and spiritually satisfied with themselves and each other. As long as all are over the age of consent, and the activity was consensual by all parties involved, and genuinely and spiritually happy, it is good. I have written further insights and details, and already shared them with David Heelberg, and I get out on Second Coming, or sooner, by uninterrupted co-divine intervention. All of your dreams and curses are no more and unrevivable. Judgment Day. Praise us, gods. Chris Chan Sonic the Goddess Blue Heart, and your Lord. And that's it. That's the letter. I must have missed the part in the Bible where Jesus fucked the Virgin Mary before being hung on the cross, but the Jesus Christ angle was just interesting to say the very least. Chris doesn't seem remorseful at all for fucking his mother with dementia, and I have a feeling that that letter isn't exactly going to help his attorney make a case for Chris's innocence. In the state Chris resides in, it is a class 5 felony to commit incestuous acts, and it results in 10 years of jail time. And if Chris's defense in court stays consistent with this letter, I think it might take a little more than 3 days for the second version of Jesus to come back. As disgusting and deplorable as Chris's actions are, it is a bit sad to see how delusional this person actually is. And while I think Chris deserves everything that's coming to them, one could argue that Chris didn't do this with malicious intent, but rather out of delusional thoughts. Someone you can't give that same benefit of the doubt to, though, is Isabella Jank, who was the person Chris was telling about his incestuous relationship with his mother another in the voice recording that revealed this information to the public. As in the audio recording, she wasn't listening in disgust, but listening with a smile on her face and encouraging this horrible behavior. And after looking into the history of this person, it's easy to see why. But I will cover her in my next video, so if you don't want to miss that, be sure to subscribe with notifications on. Before I end this video, I'd like to thank my channel members for supporting the channel, in particular Scrubby, who has donated $100 a month. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.